We are in Springfield, Illinois. A whole lot of building going on. A lot of beauty. A lot of everything. This place is moving. Of course it is. Springfield. I'm here an hour and a half before there's supposed to be a protest because I can't actually be at the protest. Why? Because like most people, I've got to go back to work. And unlike these people, I didn't take off in advance. I'm sure that I could have, but I only found out about this thing a few days ago. It's better to it's better to not push any buttons I don't need to. But I digress. Dang, I can't send any messages in this chat, can I? Oh well. What I can do is look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Lego Lincoln, Pete Gabriel, Homer Simpson, paint your freedom. Love is love. Now, what exactly is this protest for, you might ask? I mean, let's be honest, what do you think? It's for It's protesting the mass firing of federal workers. Thousands upon thousands of people, thousands and thousands of veterans, education workers. They're trying to lay off 7,000 Social Security workers. They're trying to cut the education department in half. And by trying to, I mean succeeding, albeit illegally. There's nothing that our people can do because the courts don't hold rich people accountable. So, sorry. No retribution for normal people. Legally, they could very easily prosecute Elon Musk, but he's the richest man in the world. There's no way to get past that. So instead, we're just forced to sit and watch as they propose a spending bill that'll cut $880 billion in Medicaid, which 70 million Americans use for healthcare, and 320 billion for food stamps. They're going to cut our election security, as well as many other important things. And I wish I could share with you, but for some godforsaken reason, I cannot use the chat. I literally can't use the chat. They will not let me. And my point is that not only has the stock market crashed already, we're running into a recession, but the entire country is going to implode. All we can do is hope that the Senate can stop this madness, or at least keep it going a little longer. But I'm here at the capital of my state, the land of Lincoln. Beautiful place. Look at it. Look at that gorgeous building right there. Just because I can't be here when things actually go down. Unfortunate. But hey, what can you do? Life moves on. Do better, through pain, through prosperity, life moves on. And I have my microphone, so at the very least you can somewhat hear what I'm saying. Right? Right. I can be heard, right? I'm not completely silent. Hope so. Wow. I'm I'm pretty well. I'm surprised there are people here around this time.
Why is that?
Just because everybody I just assumed everyone would start coming around 11.
Thank you. Woo! Yeah. We're early. We came up from near St.
Someone got the memo.
We heard it started at 8 because I lost the precinct. That was ours. But I think a lot of us said that we're new. That's kind of why the mix up everything. Because I sure hope. And I just give it to
I I just thought it was noon all the local times. See, the reason I'm early is because I have to go back to work at noon. So,
yeah.
and I'm not from St. Louis, but I'm from Belleville. So I have to go all the way back there before the shift starts.
Wow. Well, thanks for coming. You're cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, so hopefully, you can do this. The crowd's going to get bigger. It's 11. I'm here at 11. So I told them, I said, no one told us we had to start any time. I said, I'm starting now.
Exactly.
My sign. Starting now. I want to give my message now.
Dang. I wish I brought my sign. I don't really know why.
We made ours. We went last Saturday in St. Louis. They had that march. We went international. That's going to be the thing we do. What we did was right by the Galleria Mall, which you know about. And we're on Brentwood. Busiest fucking intersection for a Saturday. And seen a lot of Teslas. We got to harass in person. And they were lined up on both sides of the street for about a half mile. Every different sign you could think of. Every one you could think of.
That's pretty awesome.
It was really awesome. You know my favorite sign was? Too many issues, not enough cardboard. I mean, that's about the size of it. But, I forgot what she had, something about kindness and justice. And then her friend had, we support Ukraine. I had make hate wrong again, just whatever. This is cool.
Today is a very important day.
I believe it.
Very important day. I mean, if today is either the start of the collapse, in my opinion,
I think that's
or
fair to say.
because authoritarianism in the United States has been growing since 2015, unfortunately. It's been something studied by many comparative politics experts, and they've been warning everyone,
Everybody.
but nobody's done anything about it. And in the modern day, though a lot of illegal acts are happening, and these people are getting fired en masse, which they shouldn't be able to do, even though the executive branch is trying to control the allocation of funds, which does not coincide with the Congress's power of the purse. There is
So,
there is nothing that we can legally do because one of America's biggest flaws is giving too much power to the executive branch.
yeah. Big time.
And Elon Musk, the only reason he hasn't been arrested is because he's the richest man in the world.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's so crazy.
billionaires don't suffer retribution unless they're black.
I mean, look at the fella in the White House. What is that all about? This guy has been convicted, and he's running free. I mean, it makes no sense. It's scary.
All right.
Woo! See,
Free parking right there.
No, but you're so right. It's so cool. You can. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I retired from the steel mill in Granite City. about 7 years. But I've always been an activist, and like you said, if it ain't now, it's when. Now, come on, people, let's go, let's get this together. It seems like we've all been sitting on our hands waiting for the Democratic Party to do something.
Well, that's because they have. When it
Exactly.
comes to checking the Republican Party, the Democrats have always been sitting on their hands.
Forever.
That's
That's why we're where we're at. I think a lot of it. Yeah.
when it comes to running the country, they're just fine, but they're but
Yeah.
but there are forces at work that don't want to run the country. They instead just want to shape it in their own image. And that's one thing that Democrats do not understand. And that's the reason why most of the country is angry at them all the time.
Yeah. Good point. I get so upset when they say half of our country voted for that thing. No, a lot of our country didn't vote.
Just 77 million people.
That's it. That's just. I love how you said that. Sarcasm there. Yep. No, I know. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Now, I've been to Cuba 11 times. I have a family there that I supported. One young man's a doctor, and so it's horrible there. Cuba's horrible right now, So I was just there. Well, so anyway, I was trying to sponsor him, and he stopped that program.
Hmm.
And so I went to Cuba over the holidays. They're heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. The doctor makes $48 a month. That's what he makes. And so I went to show them a good holiday and everything, and the young man, the doctor's always in everything, and he told me one of the first things when I got there, he said, "Why didn't 77 million people vote?" I said, "Your guess is as good as mine." I said, "People are just complacent." I said, but I think that's part about that system, is if they can keep you worried about where you're going to get money to feed your kids, or you're going to do this, people don't have a chance to worry about, think about that. My neighbor, I just finally got her to vote. I'm just like, how can you not vote? I said, this affects your everyday life. I said, your city township people affects you. How
Yes.
things do. And even it starts right there, your neighborhood, So anyway, yeah, just mind-boggling. But my Cuban doctor he was just like mind-boggled that people don't, their system in Cuba. So the fact that we have the right to vote, people don't, blows his mind.
Yes. America has always been lagging behind developed countries when it comes to voting. We've never had a good voter turnout. The most voter turnout that we've had have been in these last 3 elections. And that is because through social media,
Exactly.
Republicans have been mobilizing their voters to get in the polls, and we've had to bring more people in to counter that, which unfortunately has not been working. I mean, the 2020 numbers were much, much higher.
Too bad Obama can't run again. You know who should run? Michelle Obama. That woman would win. Everybody loves her. Everybody loves her. Except, I'm here to tell you, black men did not vote for Kamala Harris. What was
The
that
vast
about?
majority of us did. It was
Yeah.
actually the black men were the only minority of men that actually did vote overwhelmingly for Harris, for obvious reasons, because it's more because we are forced to be involved simply by
You would
our
think.
proximity.
You would think.
That's why. But even then, they did turn most of us. I mean, 80% is still not as much as usual. We usually have 88% black men. This time we only had 80. So there was a difference, just not a substantial one compared to every other demographic of men, which was over 50%.
Yeah. I don't, man, I know you do your homework. You're obviously very involved. But I bet this election was, first of all, it was more about a selfish thing. People were just all me. And second, I really think it wasn't even a racial thing. I think it was a gender thing. I just think men have problems with women in power.
Yes, that is exactly the culture war that they started. See, Fox News succeeded in this election by pushing the idea that real men would lose if a woman got into office, and that was one of the main reasons that men overwhelmingly voted in, again, almost every demographic for Donald Trump, because he is a man. And the same thing happened in 2016. As much as Democrats want to push inclusivity, eventually they have to realize their views are a little bit too idealistic. Again, they believe that everyone has this inherent belief that others should have these rights. And even though that is a good, that is an objective thing, it should be that everyone has these things. There are people who don't believe that. Those are the people that they're going against. People who are willing to cut corners, who are willing to cheat, who are willing to do what it takes to win,
Yeah.
even even if it culls a few million, a dozen million, 100 million people
People.
for their own benefit. And of course, those are going to be the people to push the rhetoric that America's not ready for a woman president. And as long as they can push that rhetoric, then they win.
Exactly.
That's what democracy is.
It's sad. And I think, I mean, as you know, Michelle
Illinois.
Obama liked more than her husband. I mean,
Oh, like that'll do
and
so
I
much.
don't know. Are you talking to somebody or what are you doing?
No, I'm just on live.
Oh, okay.
I haven't recorded anybody yet because I haven't got permission. But it's just facing me.
Okay.
Illinois' capital is a beautiful place. And I'm glad to have the privilege to come out here. I haven't been here since my own run in a state level election. But oh man, just lovely. I'm a veteran. My mother is a veteran. She works for the federal government. I work for a school system. We, like the vast majority of people, agree that that a government shutdown is worth not losing $1 trillion in social subsidies for the sake of tax cuts for the rich, specifically the top 5% of Americans. You're right, the capital is Springfield. So you've got the 880, excuse me, $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid. That's 70 million Americans right there affected. Social Security is expected to lay off 7,000 people.
That's gonna be fun.
So for the first,
We already can't get through to them.
exactly, for the first time since America was established, our Social Security is being hurt. They're trying to lay off half of the Department of Education. A judge is actively trying to block them. A circuit judge in D.C. is blocking Elon Musk's mass firings, but it's more of an attempt than it is a factual thing. So besides that, you've got over $1 billion lost in election security funding. That's obvious.
And all those federal people he fired that overlooked to keep them quiet. You know, they're just so they can't keep track of Elon.
24 different agencies who are investigating him. Obviously, they went after those first, illegally shut those down, and now they're going after the Department of Education because an educated populace is the key to maintaining democracy. It's just classic authoritarianism, the little political science class here and there, and we would be good. We'd prevent all of this. It's unfortunate, but we saw it coming. It was a long time coming, and I just hope we're able to remedy it. Not, although I don't personally hold on to the hope that it will be a lasting change, I believe that that'll be a step in the right direction if we're able to reverse this.
Absolutely. As long as we keep fighting.
Yeah. See. I'm more of the nihilist, optimistic nihilist. I lost faith in America after the first 4 recessions under Republican administrations. Like once you get that many consecutive recessions under a single party, and then you have the other party coming in to fix it, and then they get blamed for the recession, and they just and then they just ruin the economy over again. You're not really too hopeful. I'm not really too hopeful.
I can see that. I mean, that's understandable. Sure. I don't know. I just I've always been an activist. Like I said, I'm retired steelworker union member. I'm still active in the union.
And I'm still active in politics, albeit not as much as I should be.
What do you do? What do you look at? Are you at a school? back
Yes,
home?
ma'am.
In where? In Baba?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. I live on the west end of Baba, by the Lady of the Snows. Pretty close. Yeah, well, good for you. Good for you.
Trying to expand, go back into medicine because that was my shtick when I was in the army for a short time, but I, I just haven't had the time to go back into that field. Right now, I'm trying to save as much availability as I can for elections, for
Okay.
campaigns,
Yeah.
because I need the leniency. At this age, I cannot be sitting around doing one thing. As much as it's necessary for society to function, for people to specialize, I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it can't change. Just saying that right now it's not something that I'm good at.
Well, that's great. I mean, we all do what's best for them. And yet, like you mentioned, at your age, at this age, that's important too. And I think we all play our part. And
Drive.
what's interesting is I'm getting an award from the union on the 27th about my volunteerism. You know, great award, National Labor Relations, Madison County Credit. Yeah, anyway, Jim. And I'm like, you give awards for this? And they're like, I said, isn't this what everybody does? I mean, I just think we should care about society and just care. My biggest thing is there's no compassion within that side. There's no empathy. It's just like it's all me, 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 me. And the narcissism is just absolutely ridiculous. And oops. And yeah. So I will always be out here. I have time. I don't have children. Never had children. Never wanted children. Got some nice niece and nephews. But, this is when I want to do that when I'm retired.
I can relate to you on that front. I don't have any children either, but I'm not planning on having them.
Yeah,
Not right now.
I never wanted any. My sisters and brothers have them.
I drove.
I travel a lot.
I've wanted children since I was 10-year-old, but now that I'm an adult, I'm not at the place where I can
Yeah.
settle down yet, so
Yeah.
just don't.
You know, one time in the steel mill, the guys told me, it's pretty selfish you don't want to have kids because you want to travel. I said, no, it would be selfish if I had kids and felt that way. I
Mhm.
said, I knew what I wanted to do and I didn't want to be responsible for children. And that's okay. And that's what I did. And I don't regret it now that I'm older. Made good money at the steel mill. I don't expect anybody to take care of me. I'll go into a home. And when I'm really sick, I'm going to pray that Dr. Kevorkian comes back and helps me. Because if I'm just existing, I don't want to. But while I'm able and walking, I'm very healthy. I'll be 65 next month.
Who?
So, you know.
Woo!
Woo! All right. There you go.
It's crude, but it's there.
It's good. That's good. I like it.
How lovely.
That's cool.
I'm not a loser. I love my country.
Exactly. I love my country too. And it was built on the basis of freedom. And what is the guardian of freedom? The guardian of freedom is knowledge. How do you get knowledge? Through education. So yesterday, when I heard they were trying to cut half of the education department, it's been the Republicans' goal for a long time to attack the education department. We know that. They don't want our people to be educated. They want them to be easy to manipulate. But we can't let them. The more knowledge we have, the better media literacy we have, the more we can see through the nonsense, the better we can be. That is how we become guardians of our freedom and the freedom of those who are just too busy to care.
Well, you found some people that care right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah, it was well said.
Well, Germany tried that with Poland. And after their first
You?
time, they
You're definitely a teenager. What school do you go to, mate?
they shut down schools.
Pleasant Hill High School.
Pleasant Hill. Sophomore?
Freshman.
Oh, wow.
Are you a teacher?
We trained as
Sometimes.
since we didn't have anything to do.
I go where they need me.
Uh-huh.
My name's Jamil. Jamil McKinney.
Beth Arnold.
Miss Beth.
I'm Joey, yeah.
Nice to meet you,
They
Joey.
revere her as a renowned
So how about you guys? What brought you out here?
citizen.
We're, well,
My old man was that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it sticks in my head.
He has been active duty Army. He's been in the National Guard. He's been in.
The branch.
He did it before I knew him. He was in Europe in Boston. After when she was 2 years old, he got deployed to.
Yeah, I remember my parents' first deployment.
Oh really?
Where'd they go?
She was going to Kuwait,
Yeah.
and I didn't quite understand it, and for some reason they took a picture of us parting, and she just has it, just to show me every time I need a reminder apparently of how sad I was to see her go on the airplane. Oh, I was 5.
We have a picture like that of her and her dad from when she was 2, and it actually was taken by an Associated Press photographer.
Really?
And it went to newspapers all around the country. We had marchers who were visiting. So friends in Iowa City picked up a newspaper, and they're like, "What are Jay and Caroline doing in the Iowa City newspaper?" So it was they were. They got their 15 minutes for the deployment ceremony. 15 minutes late. It's not a cute picture.
One thing about Republicans since the 1980s, you got to give them the fact that they're consistent, because there are 4 groups of people that they have never, ever cared about, and that is consistent with all their actions since Reagan: the farmers, the teachers, the veterans, and marginalized groups. The whole blanket.
It just goes on and on. I mean, this is crazy.
And that's the primary what I want to say, like economic driving force of my county is we're an agricultural, we have acres of farmland. We're mainly corn and soybean farmers.
We do have some like Angus beef cattle
And then
industries and some swine.
the school is the largest employer in our town. I mean, it's just a tiny rural town.
I couldn't even tell you what the biggest piece of land is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Over in my area, it's more construction and manufacturing.
where are you?
I'm near Belleville. Mhm.
Okay.
You know, there's always something being built in that area.
Yes.
Literally always.
Because St. Louis
Well,
is.
that will be impacted too with all these tariffs.
Yes.
So where he is just like east of St. Louis. So like St. Louis kind of is like growing that way towards you, right?
Absolutely. Yep. See, they're doing the same thing they always do. See, the cuts to SNAP, those negatively affect the farmers, because the farmers are the ones who get grants from the food that they get. That's the money that they get to provide the food. That's why when you go to these women's rights organizations, to these expectant mothers organizations, they give them a lot of grain and milk products, because those are the farmers giving subsidies to these groups. That allows them to get more money from the government. That's it. It's not just the immigration that helps them. It's everything. Every food-based program in this country relies on them. They've been attacking them. Every single food-based program, they're attacking it. Literally yesterday, what did they do? They cut $1 billion in funding for our children to eat. Free school lunch program.
I worked with at my high school.
I mean, this is just scratching crazy.
And the food banks. School lunches and food banks.
That's a real. That makes a lot of sense.
See, before they could be more subtle about it, but they don't have to hide if they control all 3 parts of the government. They can be as blatant as they want with the actual evil policies that are being put in place. It's okay. morning, my friend.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Chicago.
Oh man. See.
I just got this flyer 2 days ago. It's like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right here's where we're supposed to meet, or is there other spots that are close to that?
I
heard
there was
I
like
heard
other
there
people
media.
around the Capitol.
Do you want to South Carolina now to take the house?
So I don't know where.
I was here yesterday. Okay, we're gonna just take a lap around and see if we see anybody. Let them know.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I was here yesterday.
How you doing?
Thank you for your service.
I didn't get your name.
My name is Jamil.
Jamil, nice to meet you. Nice chatting with you.
Oh, absolutely.
You're good company.
Aw.
I've been told my mother named me Kathleen. Kitty's a nickname of Kathleen. But she liked Kitty on Good School.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm okay. And so I've always been called Kitty.
Yeah.
No one calls me Kathleen. That's cool. I like the name.
I love.
So if people like to like it because I'm like call me by Kathleen.
Oh, that's the goal.
I got the Beatus, so I gotta get something in here to keep that. Well, you can have it. I'll put it walk around the building and hand some of these out. I don't think it.
How about you, my friend?
Hey, good. How about yourself?
Well, thank you so much for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Which friend?
Army.
Same. But I only stayed for a few years.
That's all right. That's all right. I only stayed for a few also. 26.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just retired from the Guard in October. This past October.
See, for some reason they always come after the veterans, and nobody knows why. See, it was 2016. That was the first year that our VA productivity ramped up significantly. Why? Because that's when Donald Trump got into office, and then the Republicans, because the Democrats were doing the vast majority of the work in the VA for all of the time since then. They finally started to pick up their fair share, and it boomed. But then they started going after the programs, and now they're doing it again.
Right.
And that's just consistent. For some reason, they don't like veterans. Active duty military, they don't like those either.
They like Boyd and Raytheon and McDonnell Douglas though.
They like the idea of a strong military because they can use it as a threat. But then the programs that actually benefit the military, the ones like even these food bank programs, and of course our civilian contractors, they've cut about 11,000 of them, severely stunting productivity in many places across the United States. There are only 66 MEPS. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure there are only 66 MEPS areas in the entire country. I believe. You know what? Take that one with a grain of salt. I know that there is a 6 in front of it, but I don't know it could be 60.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say with certainty on that one. But there are only a few, and we have so many civilians allowing those places to function. Yet this idea of cutting down the federal government, as in taking away all of the programs that allow our country to naturally function, to naturally progress, this is just what they're sticking with.
Right.
And they don't have to listen to anybody. They don't have to slow down production because, as it stands, they control everything. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But that's just where we're living.
Yeah.
No, this is a protest, my friend. I'm on live. I'm not recording anybody because obviously I don't have permission. I like to ask people's permission before recording them. It's one thing if it's a picture, but
Sure.
a full recording. I'm not a journalist. I have no reason to get up in people's face and start asking them questions. But I do plan to keep talking to people because you just gotta know. Everything started with Reagan. That's when they cut the tax rate from 70% to 28% for the top 1%.
Right.
before that, the poverty rate was high, but people could live in the poverty rate. They could live comfortably under one income.
Some duct tape and just wrap the duct tape around it.
They absolutely will continue to be friends. Everything. Hey. It's one thing that if it continues, but if we can cut it off, if we can cut the head off that snake before it bites the hands of all of our wonderful people, then we can stop it right in its tracks. This is classic authoritarianism in place. It's the same thing that's happened in copious countries around the world. Germany, Hungary, Myanmar, Turkey. It's the same thing. We know what we're looking at. If the educated populace can go out and do something, it will not be a problem. Okay? Trust me.
I didn't work out every day, I wouldn't be in this relationship. But I got a buddy of mine's an ABC on me. Kind of got to straighten up. All right. Well, now he's got partners. Couple of Marines right there. Well, I'm the son of one. So I'm the brat.
Oh, that's another thing. The PACT Act, the one that directly funds health care for severely disabled veterans and of course those affected by Agent Orange. That's another thing they're trying to cut in this stupid funding bill they're trying to pass today. We have to hope. That's one thing we really have to focus on.
But we had him here. You guys hold me down. I got something, buddy.
Today is a really important day because of that Senate vote. All the Democrats have to do is say, no, we do not want to completely sink the entire country so you guys can get your little tax cuts. That's it. That's all they have to do. And we lost Schumer already, but who needs him?
And this tea's still too light for me. I can see
Yep.
We got 47 people. 45 Democrats, 2 independents. They need 60. We can only afford to lose 7. We've already lost 1. We just got
Chuck Schumer, so
Yep.
I hope none of the rest of them follow.
Mhm.
I don't relish the country going into a shutdown.
But
I really don't know
I
how to feel about that. I mean,
Well, I just
It's
don't.
kind of like having your mother let go of the cliff.
but we're already I think we're already past that point.
no, we're getting I don't understand.
That happens, it shuts down the whole If you're spending so much money,
Well, that's what Cargill said yesterday. It's kind of like, you know, the boxing deal. This year, just let's go for itself.
And right now it's just tax cuts. That's all it's ever been. Ever since the 1980s, it's literally just tax cuts.
and
What platoon were you in Korea?
I wasn't at a platoon. I was in mine suites and amphibious.
That's what they're cutting 880 billion in Medicaid on, and 320 billion in food stamps. That's what they're cutting it for.
Oh, were you the one
To give $1 trillion to the richest people in America, specifically. That's it.
and that's why
What I like to call a duck boat.
absolutely don't need it.
It's just because they're good. It's just because they're government.
I'm from Key West, Florida.
150 people over here.
Waiting across the street and joining us.
No home.
Waiting across the street
They're
and
barely
joining
getting
us.
food as it is.
All right.
They're sleeping in beds that are probably for prisoners. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It is. That's just the government.
And that's not just them, that's me. I stand over in helping hands, it's like a prison cell. So
He's not
it's
joking.
like-
I stay with him.
It's ridiculous. They want you to sleep on a cot for a 15-year-old. It's like, these things are too small for even a fucking adult. You want us to like live like this way? I'm like,
Not to mention right at 6 o'clock every morning. Boom! Turn
on the lights.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't have you.
Bright ass LED, too.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
And
right in your face too.
but it's the food stamps that are gonna bankrupt us, everybody. It's the food stamps, it's the Medicaid, it's the Social Security workers. Those are the problem.
Yeah.
Not the fact that the most prosperous time in American history, the time when we had the most technological advancements, were when the people who made 420K or higher had a tax rate of 90%. It's definitely not that. Not the fact that it's gone all the way down to 37. Not the fact they keep getting more tax cuts every 16 or so years. In this case, it's only been 8.
Yeah. It's just if they had to work as hard as some of us did when we started as kids, and I go back 30 years, they would not be like, okay, let's give the rich a tax cut. No. Give the poor the fucking tax cut. Let them have a chance to build their money back up. And then if you're going to tax them, tax the fucking money. Because they deserve it. Because they know they're taking money from us anyway. If they paid the damn taxes, we'd be normal. It'd be in a normal situation. We'd be 40 to 50 trillion out of the fucking hole. We've been asking for years to be out.
Thank you for your service, soldier.
We would literally not be in the $1 trillion debt we're in. And everything goes smooth. They're just, oh, we're going to hear what we want to hear. Okay, well, yeah, you're only going to last 4 years in office. I'm glad you're going bye-bye. We just wave them off.
That's why they're attacking education, because an educated populace can look at these simple charts that are there for everyone to see. All of that debt skyrocketed during those stupid tax cuts. Our people, when our people were invested in, when they had social safety nets, when they were establishing more of them, that's when people were motivated to actually work harder. That's when our GDP increased. That's when we got out of the recession. And then what did they do? They put us right back in it again, over and over and over again. And people wonder why the economy's messed up. As if we have not had 5 consecutive recessions under Republican administrations in the past 45 years.
Well, we've had it in Democratic and recession.
Not recessions. We had one stock market crash under Bill Clinton, but the Democrats, not one Democratic administration has overseen a recession. They've just gone. They've been thrust into them.
They come in during the recession and like, okay, we're out.
Exactly.
Let's start putting money back in. I think FDR was Democratic, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And his claim was, go put a pot. I'm gonna put a chicken in everybody's pot. And guess what he did? He put a chicken in everybody's pot.
You had Bill Clinton, you had Obama, then of course you had Joe Biden. They all had one thing in common. They all came in during major recessions, and then we were able to restore the economy just for it to go right back in the hole.
Well, right in the tank. And that's the problem I was saying. They get us out of the debt, then they put us further in the debt than what they did. It's like, if they would leave the debt and say, okay, we're going to get us out of the debt and not put us in another.
Thank you.
My
father was a 7-year vet. He came in at the end of Vietnam. I think he was on the ship when the ship with the embassy in Iran went down. He was ready to drop it.
Until then, it's like,
he's on the
these
tarmac in
people
Lebanon.
that have $2-3 million a year, they live comfortably eating fucking steak dinners and shit, drinking whatever they want. But here's us, who's out here, who can't even pay for their own car. It's like, how's that work?
It's common sense to most people, but to them, it's saying, to them, people are basically saying, oh, they're trying to take my money because they think they deserve it. That's the reason why they're doing it.
They're trying that old trickle-down economics, and it doesn't work. It's been proven time and time again. Trickle-down economics does not work.
They've never worked, not in the history of human existence. But if these uber rich people, these almost 30 billionaires in the cabinet, there is a set amount of money at all times that people can have, and they own about half of it. They want more people to have less money because then they can have more of it. That top 5%, they own 70% of the wealth. They want more of it. That's what they do. They hoard money.
See, I'm actually all for term limits on everything down to the local level. Because once you start getting into small towns, there's not a lot of people in a small town that want to run for mayor or some sort of office in the town. But like, here at the state level, put term limits on it. Same with the federal level. Put term limits on it in the Senate and Congress. Boom. You're going to get the old boys out. You're going to always be bringing in new blood, and society is going to advance. This is the great experiment, and it's failing because they're too blind to see that it's failing. All they care about is putting that money in their pocketbook.
And that is one thing. They don't really care that it's failing. They never have. That's the assumption that a lot of people have that is just empirically incorrect. The idea of everyone wanting the best for the country. That's not true. It's unfortunate that there is evil in the world that wants to take $1 billion out of the mouths of starving children, that wants to make sure that the food banks can't get their food out to people who need it. But there is, and unless we are fighting it, see, the Democrats, they can run the country all right, but they're not preventing the people who want the country to fail from getting into power. They don't check. They haven't been checking these guys, and so they got the jump on them time and time again. Oh, and that's comparative politics experts. They've been telling us for a decade now that we need to start preparing for a much bigger threat, and they did not prepare. They just said, you know what, we're in a recession, let's take us out. Oh, those guys, they're fine, they're just over there, they can't really do much of anything. Now they can do much of everything. Underestimating people is how we got here.
And I will say the only thing I had a problem with Bill Clinton was the outsourcing thing. Tax breaks to every company that outsources. Now you should always tax people who keep the job, or give the people that keep the jobs here the tax break, and tax the people who are sending them overseas. That was only Clinton's big flaw, and Monica Lewinsky. But hey,
exactly. See, the last administration, the reason that people hate it so much is just because of social media. In reality,
social media is a curse.
In the political sphere, absolutely. In keeping people together, which was the goal, it achieved that goal. We're more worldly than ever now, but we're also more isolated because of those social media spheres. But at the same time, people don't realize how productive the last administration was, and that's the reason why they voted against it. That's $600 billion going out to small businesses. That restored the 2020 recession was the worst recession we've had since the 50s.
We're still recovering from it when Biden was leaving office.
Exactly. Other countries in the G7, they were dying, but we got out of it the first year, 2021. Why? Because that's what happens when you invest in people. And that's what people just didn't see. They didn't see those things because when people are actually doing good things, they don't throw it out. They don't advertise it in America because they believe it's not for us to do. It's for the people to look up and see themselves. But that's just not the reality.
Do for yourself. That was our parents. If you're not able to do for yourself, then what's going to happen is the rich, basically, are going to just walk away. So that's why I tell you, always have a nest egg. Always have a nest egg. For years, my parents told me, save money, save money, save money. Now, at 55, my kids are like, I gotta save money, I gotta save money. I said, the reason why you're doing that is because my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, now you're seeing exactly the same things I see. That's what I miss. You've got a government. All they care about is the almighty dollar, and all they care about is making you less richer, less richer, less richer. So they don't have any other way to do it. They know nothing about America. All they think about is themselves. And that's where you gotta just reward them, go make your money, save your money, and go wherever you want. Like, do exactly this too. Okay, you start at the bottom, you stay at the bottom. 9 times out of 10, the ones that know how to save their money, boom, they can get out of being on the bottom list. Because I've watched it year after year. The government more and more takes money from people
Who need it
and
most?
uses it for frivolous fucking things that they shouldn't. Right? Because they can get away with it and nobody leaves them liable for that shit. It's like, no, you gotta be liable for the shit that you do. And that's what this is. This is a protest saying, no, you're not doing this to the veteran. You're not doing this to people in America that worked their butts off hard, fought, and we're trying to make something for ourselves, and you're wanting to like put a foot in our ass, and we didn't do shit to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are trying to get something back that we're owed. And they want to take away Social Security, they want to take away this, that. And when all this money we paid into you, where the fuck is it? And that pisses them off.
For Elon Musk, you can actually make an argument that we did do something to them. Elon Musk, the reason that he would have a personal vendetta against America is because USA had helped end apartheid in South Africa. Since he comes from an apartheid bloodline, freeing those people from their rule was something that he would obviously not want.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why he knows how to make so much money. He's pretty.
That's what cracks me up. is
Like the guy.
Here's somebody who everybody knows full out well. This guy, if you go way back, we had USA for Africa. We gave him millions of dollars with Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson and everybody else through music. That wasn't the military. That was our government. That was fucking musicians out here on the street. Now, they can do that. And give them millions of dollars from another country like us. What in the world is our government doing? That's the problem. They say, well, we did this. No, you didn't. These people did this. They gave that money away. But they were millionaires giving them to us.
Exactly.
It's like they took like a contribution to get off that. But 2 or 3 years later, they got all that money back because they were making that money for that album like everywhere else. It wasn't the
Looks like they got songs that they're about.
government. It was the fact that people's money, giving it back to them, that they were spending it on. It's like a give and take. You give something away, they give you it back. It's like, I scratch my back, you scratch yours. But the problem is, our government doesn't scratch our back. They hit us with a mallet on the back of our head. That's the problem.
There are a lot of problems, and all of them are rooted in greed and selfishness. And if we prioritized education a long time ago, we would not be in this mess. An educated populace is the key to democracy. It is the guardian of democracy. Knowledge. That's just.
I think that's why everybody's here. Social Security, and they were giving, we gave this money away freely.
That's why he got out.
They wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be messing up Social Those things aren't even supposed to be touched. Because there was only 2 or 3 people that were supposed to be running. And that's your CIA and your Social Security.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
And then Elon Musk comes in with his computer and ruins everything. That's.
Because they want their AI.
Yeah, Donald Trump's trying to push that AI challenge.
They're absolutely. AI is absolutely running everything now, and the fact. If,
Not everything. Not everything.
see, if you look on the list of deleted military information, you've got the most ridiculous thing. Like, of course, the Enola Gay situation. One of the the reason that things like involving diversity or black people or women are being deleted, even if they have nothing, just for having words associated with them, is because there is an AI program doing it, and it looks for those words, and regardless of the context, it deletes them. It is an unsophisticated robot doing this work, not actual people. That and that is they're trying to replace actual workers with robots in a government.
And they're trying to implement it to the military. You got Elon Musk's robots that he's been designing, and you've got the implementation of AI into the military they're trying to do. It's all just going down.
And here's the weird part. The more they do that, you gotta remember, you cannot, and I say this lightly, you cannot put a robot in a human's place.
At all.
Because robots make mistakes. And man makes mistakes. But man can correct a mistake. A robot cannot correct a mistake because it's the person that programmed that.
A machine's only as a computer is only as smart as the person who programmed it. And it's how smart, and that person may not be
There
the
is
smart.
self-learning AI.
Yeah, and that's the scary part right there. It's self-learning.
I look at
But you know, something else. These people that are making AI, we've got to stop and remember. It still takes us to fix that AI.
Yep, they're trying to they're trying to completely slash every aspect of the government. They're collapsing our government through these ridiculous cuts. They're ruining our diplomacy and national relations by waging wars on our allies. And they are gutting our social security service, our social services, so that people will be completely reliant on whatever handouts the government can get them.
Yeah, we're not supposed to get Social Security after April.
we're not supposed to give out.
Oh no, it's still going to be active. They're just going to be less people there. They're trying to cut 7,000 by 2030, and that's something that they're only doing because of Elon Musk. And all of these things have led many people to believe that the collapse of the entire U.S. government is the goal, and I'm not entirely off board with that. To be honest, it could be because of Elon Musk's rage over apartheid ending. It could be because of Putin. Who knows? Conspiracy theories are usually not my thing, but at this point, it does very much look like they're trying to cause the collapse of the United States.
Here's the thing. They're already trying to put semis with no driver on the roads. Okay?
That's scary right there. I used to drive one.
It's great that they're trying to do that, but a computer cannot analyze this person right behind it. If it's a regular person and it pulls over, now this person's dead because it didn't have knowledge. There's human. Pull back over.
People are insane.
We have people here that know very good and well that, oh, that's a mistake. If you're a semi driver, you know that's a mistake. But if you're a robot, they'll just pull right over and not care. It could take out a family of 4.
Don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to have all those sensors in the vehicle that they use for the system to help the driver. But I feel like it's a driverless vehicle of any kind, you should still have a person in the driver's seat, even if they're sitting there doing this the whole time.
At least they'll be able to see what's around them and the actual picture in front.
It would be different if it was just robots. If it was just robots, then they'd be following the traffic laws. They'd be doing their own thing. Everything would be slow. It would be consistent, and there would be no issues. But it's not. If it was just humans, it's obviously more chaotic. It's more disruptive, but things eventually get done. And 100,000 people die every year, but that's because people don't know how to drive. When it's humans and robots, people still don't know how to drive, but now they have to deal with robots who are not fast enough to respond to them not knowing how to drive. A robot is not going to have the reflexes to see somebody going 120 down the interstate, weaving through everything, and say, maybe I should just stick to the right and slow down and just wait for them to pass me. The robot's going to continue moving forward, and And if that little car just decides to run straight into them, like that's
Well, here's a perfect, on your example right there. I was driving one night up through Louisiana. I'm in one of the major cities. I can't remember which one right off, but I'm just cruising along, and all of a sudden I hear a cop car. I look in my mirror. Just as I go to look at my mirror, here comes a Corvette doing a $120, shooting right past me. And then you see the cop. Not even a second later, the cop car's chasing him, doing the same 120, trying to catch up. Now, if that would have been a machine, it probably would have made a mistake and pulled into the wrong lane or something, and caused a major accident for both vehicles. Whereas with me, I knew Jack before I seen. And like I said, I seen that car, I seen that black car, then I seen that cop car. No, I woke up with my trainer that was in the back asleep, and the sleep yelled at him, "Hey, you might want to get up here. We might see a car getting pulled over for a high-speed chase," because he sticks his head up right over my shoulder, goes, "What the hell's going on?" And I told him, "Police chase." He slides into the driver's seat, puts his seatbelt on, or slides into the passenger seat, puts his seatbelt on. We get out of town looking for this guy. We're going up the interstate looking for him. Like, where the fuck are they at?
That's what I'm saying. They were looking for a while. Stopped at a gas station, whatever. He was trying to go see his family, and he got a little carried away and wasn't looking at it.
Well, it was an empty road in the middle of the night. So.
A semi driver,
that machine, it would assume I need to pull over and come to a complete stop. Because I used to drive what was called a nurse truck for a fertilizer company. Luckily, I didn't have any fertilizer on me, because I had a car come to a complete stop in front of me on the highway and pull off, and I'm in a rolling wall of steel. It takes twice as long for me to stop than that car, and that car came to a dead stop in front of me, and I'm locking up my brakes, trying to downshift and everything, and luckily I came to a dead, because I looked up, seen the fire trucks heading the opposite direction. And just as I look back, here's that car coming to a dead stop and doing this number, and it's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Luckily I was empty and wasn't going as fast because I was already slowing down.
that's what I'm saying.
the time.
You're talking.
Somebody Hey, morning, you guys. How's everybody doing? I'm living life, living well. How about yourself? But I already asked that. What brought you out here, my friend?
Protesting no Project 2025, no VA cuts, support veterans.
Exactly. No VA cuts, no loss of 11,000 civilians that keep the VA running.
Yes, well, they're civilians and a lot of them are veterans.
Right.
That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're trying.
Okay.
My friend, thank you guys for coming. What brings you here today?
What brought me here today?
Besides your car.
Well, I'm here to support the veterans. I'm here to support the people in the VA. And I like what's going on with Social Security, Medicare, VA benefits, VA, all that.
No, I don't think anyone likes what's going on in the VA. They're cutting 11,000 people from anything in the national sector is going to destroy a lot of lives. A lot of
have already been destroyed.
Jesus Christ, they let anybody in here.
There's 133 million on the block.
Yep, that's 100. All of those people that they have to what's the word I'm looking for? Analyze, that they have to record, that they have to watch constantly to make sure that they have all your data in order. See, I'm not in the VA. I have.
It's horrible what they've done with the data.
They're trying to
It's
replace
gonna get
people with
worse.
robots.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous thing. It's a ridiculous idea to downsize the federal government that is already thriving. All the work that we put into making this country function normally, and then somebody comes in with the idea, why don't I just take it all away and do it as a civilian
Yeah,
illegally?
Project 2025 is so abrasive, and it'd be such a change. That I don't think the country's ready for what's coming.
Exactly. It will just the entire country will collapse, literally.
Maybe that's their goal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their goal. They won't admit it because they're all a bunch of lying, cheating individuals.
If they admit it, people won't support them anymore. They have to try and spin it any way they can.
There was a Republican online this morning. They were just ripping on Republicans.
As they should. They're destroying the country.
That's the first time I've seen it.
You know, it's
He was ripping.
Mark Twain had a famous quote. It's easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled.
That's right.
And
And that was
he said that
Landry,
50 years ago.
Landis, senator. He chewed the right up one side, the other, and down. Oh man.
Yep,
That's what all of them need.
They're all spineless. They're all spineless.
Evidently, he must not be getting any money.
Yeah.
See, the Republicans that are disowning them are the ones that aren't in the federal government anymore. You guys notice that? See, don't get me wrong, I give them props, but at the same time, if they were in the federal government right now, I feel like they'd be doing the exact same thing, just towing the line.
They have very.
I don't know. Cheney, Liz Cheney, didn't toe the line, and she stood up to him, and she lost her position. Kinzinger from Illinois.
Same way.
Yeah, I mean, his own family disowned him and didn't want anything to
And
do
he
with
has
him.
to live in hiding.
Yeah, he lives in Texas now. And that was a guy, 20 years, Air Force vet, flew combat missions,
And I mean,
and Trump just.
you have a guy who gets elected and he's already cited an insurrection,
Yeah,
which our Constitution that we swore to defend
yeah.
for a lifetime says anybody who's cited an insurrection should not serve.
Yeah.
It's
But,
literally a death sentence.
But our whole justice system is screwed up that they let him escape for 4 years and didn't hold him accountable when they could. McConnell, he's going to go away in 2 weeks after, we don't want to do anything because they're spineless.
It's just because he's rich. That's literally it.
I think Putin has pictures of him.
Well,
Oh yeah.
no,
That's right. Yeah, that's
Those
right.
are
he's got pictures of his wife, but that's not. They're literally showing that on Russian television. Everybody's seen his wife naked. That's not new news.
That looks like a professional meat. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna show some of these signs. I want to go ahead and show this sign. All of it. I gotta show people what's happening.
Overgrown. There's more and more showing up every few minutes.
I have to show people what's happening here. Yep. The people are going to stand up against tyranny. Our government may be spineless, but our people aren't. And if we need to, we'll step in and take their place. They want to attack our veterans, they're attacking our farmers, they're attacking our poor, our marginalized groups. They're attacking everyone. Ooh, yes. Captain Bone Spurs has decided to wage war against the American people. And we're not standing for it.
Absolutely not.
You can try authoritarianism all you want. It's just not going to work here. We're going to find some way to stop it. Whether it's Senate Democrats, whether it's the courts, or whether the military or the people, we are going to make sure that this does not stand. Good day, my friend.
I'm a news reporter with News Channel 20. I'm Monique Davis. How are you?
I'm quite well. How about yourself?
Good. Would you be willing to talk to us about why you're out here today?
Oh, I would love to. I love talking.
Okay, let's do it. Stand in front of the
If
camera.
you want to step right about there.
And then when you see, I think you look at me and then
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not here.
Woo!
Alright, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so first we always begin. I'll be able to hold it. No, you're fine. Can you tell me your name and how to spell it?
My name is Jamil McKinney. That's Jamil McKinney.
And can you tell me why you are out here today?
I'm out here today because our so-called president has decided to cut thousands upon thousands of civilians from our VA, thousands of veterans, thousands of hard workers who fought for the freedom of this country for his own rhetoric. I'm out here today because they're trying to give away our Social Security, our Medicaid, and our food stamps for trillion-dollar tax cuts to the richest people on earth, because they're abandoning the poor, the needy, and the regular average citizen to fill their own pockets. I'm here because they've decided to wage war on the American people, and I, like the vast majority of us, are not going to stand for it. We're going to do this peacefully, or we're going to do this legislatively. If they don't want to run the government, if they want to cause the collapse, if they want to cause us to fear for our lives, then we'll just replace them. In one way or another, it's going to get done. Because America was built on freedom, it was built on tenacity, it was built on excellence. And we are not backing down because one administration decides they want to throw it all away. That is a fact.
That's right.
And one of my last things that I want to ask you is, because of this march and everyone that's standing out here today, what are you hoping to see? What are you hoping to benefit from this march?
I'm hoping that our Illinois politicians will be emboldened by our passion,
I like that.
and they will continue to stand against this tyranny. I'm especially going to call out the Republicans in our great state, the land of Lincoln, because they need to grow a spine. They need to fight against this wannabe king. They need to stand up and reject whatever values they put into the meaningful collapse of our beautiful country. And they need to start working to make sure their people can thrive, to make sure America can thrive. And then everyone else can follow suit, because we know Illinois, we're among the best.
And is there anything else that you would like to add?
I would like to add that education, knowledge, is the guardian of freedom. Everyone in America agrees that freedom is the basis of this country's values, of our principles. And some see it as worshiping who you want. Some see it as believing what you want. But I and everyone else knows, Thomas Jefferson even told us that an educated citizenry is that which holds up democracy. Education, knowledge, media literacy is how we defeat the misinformation that led us here. We are here because of a lack of knowledge, because of a lack of accountability, and from a lack of action against those who want to take this away from us. I know I'm yammering on, but I have a lot to say. But I'll sum it up with this one point. We as a people need to prioritize our education. We need to prioritize enriching our youth with knowledge so that they will take over this country, that we will be able to be great. Not again, but for the first time in forever. That we can be who we need to be. America has so much potential, and we cannot reach it without that knowledge. I'll leave it with you.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
You as well.
Thank you, of course.
She only became a citizen 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went to,
We're in a tough time right now, but
Oh yeah.
and it is what it is. I assume your brother?
My dad. I told him about this, and I'm like, we have to go.
There were so many people on their path to citizenry in that lot, and it breaks my heart that people, for any reason, would want to disenfranchise another group of people just because they weren't born here. Not only is it nonsensical, but it's completely immoral, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You guys know something? We lost every legal immigrant in Texas right now. $70 billion. We could use all of that money to house our Americans for 2 years. Every single one, every single homeless person off that alone. And that's just based on their income taxes. Right. Doesn't make sense. But it doesn't have to make sense if it's hate.
Right.
That's what gets people riled up.
Yep.
Scapegoated.
Yep.
Bigotry. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. We gotta fight against it. That's all we can do.
Yep.
People will just spend more time hating people than finding solutions
You're right.
to their problems.
Yeah.
And normally
Just think if we just all got brain power from the nation, put it in there, like what we could accomplish as a country. Serve everybody, house everybody.
Good day, my friend. Welcome to the party.
Hello.
How you feeling?
Rough day today. We're not giving up.
No, sir. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Fight and fight for Navy?
Army. Thank you guys.
Welcome home. Yeah. Thank you, Gracie. Yay. My husband's the best. Mine too.
but I put it in my pocket.
Are you still live?
Yeah, I've just been live the whole time. I didn't mean to do that. I did not.
You got a nice out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah. You guys know what's beautiful about this group right here? This group has seen America at its lowest, at its highest. You've seen recession. You've seen restoration. You've seen everything. But you know what Marjorie Taylor Greene said? She said that federal workers don't deserve their jobs. She said the federal workers who keep you guys from being disenfranchised by our government don't deserve their jobs. Meanwhile, she's a member of legislature. She's a federal worker. Our worker. And what is she voting for? What are they voting for? They're voting to give themselves raises. Every single administration. They want to get raises. They want to take away your ability to thrive. The people who fought for this country, man. You guys have seen everything. You guys have done everything. You made your case. You fulfilled your promise. They want to take that away. They're attacking you guys. They're attacking the civilians who support you. They're attacking the farmers. They're attacking the marginalized groups. They're attacking the children. $1 billion in the free school lunches. That was yesterday. They're taking food out of the mouths of our children. They want to give themselves raises. They want to put more money in their pockets. Do you believe it? Nah. I'm sorry, my voice is going out. I haven't drank much water, but I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. Because they may not be doing their jobs as government officials, but you did your job. Even the non-veterans who are out here today, you're doing your job. Okay? I wanted to make sure you knew that. So thank you. Thank you.
I want to say, I think I saw you out here last time I was out here on a protest about a month ago.
I didn't really know there was one last month.
That was my first one. I think it was for trans rights. I know I couldn't campaign for all of them, but if there was some kind of list that I knew people coming out, I would come out for more because I'm driving the police car all the way out here.
Exactly.
Some organization type stuff, but I wanted to definitely come out for those veterans. It just looks familiar like last time talking on the show. It seemed like it. I thought I could handle it, and then I saw a little bit, I was behind you.
We need leaders. Many leaders. All the people. Exactly.
I serve this. I serve for that.
The Constitution.
Yes.
Our
Because if you cover
Constitution.
this, everybody gets their rights.
Almost good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I brought a bullhorn. Not to defer from the gentleman, but if you'd like to repeat it at a later time, sure. At noon, we're all going to start this in a couple of minutes. It's up to you if you'd like to stay right where you are, stand right here, or we can stand in front of the very last Republican this nation ever served, ever had or did anything for us. Mr. Lincoln there. I'm not the organizer. I just happen to have a bullhorn, like I said. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest mouth in the room, but I tried to at my firehouse with a bunch of guys with buyer's remorse, and they're all upset about the fact that they're all taking down their Trump signs and their Trump stickers and their Trump flags. And they're all upset. They got this buyer's remorse and they bought Teslas and you get what you pay for. And I keep telling a lot of them, Project 2025 was not supposed to be a nonfiction book. It turned out to be the very plan that was going to happen, and it happened, and it is happening, and yet they're still standing by their quote unquote bad. Thank you. So it's about noon right now. I'm like I said, I'm just talking with the bullhorn. If anybody wants to come up and say anything, please come on down. You can say whatever you want, please. We're all here in this together. We're all here for one reason: protect our veterans. Our veterans are important to this country. We served. I'm a veteran myself. I did 8 years. There are others here from Iraq. There are people here from Vietnam. There are people here from all over. Korea even. Everybody should have a voice. And the Air Force too. we even got a guy from Canada over here. We got a guy from... Yeah! Hey, we like you guys. It isn't us. Right! Don't blame us. But I want you guys all to know, thank you for coming out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting a group of people who have been gradually marginalized by different governments, not just this one, but this one is out for the kill. This one is out to destroy the VA. This one wants to, just yesterday a judge said that they could bring back the federal workers for 2 weeks because it was considered unconstitutional and a scam. Boy, that sounds new when it comes to Trump. I never would have put those two words together. But anyway, temporarily they have some services. Trying to call the Veterans Crisis Center right now. You won't get an answer. Try to get any kind of services out of the VA. They are so clogged right now. They can't do anything. We need to save the VA. We need to save the children. We need to save education.
Right.
We need to save our future, not just our past. So everybody needs a voice. And if anybody wants to come down here right now, please, and say something, anything to everybody, come on down. Here she is. Oh, this man served in Korea. Let him have a conversation with you.
Give you a little something to think about. In the Bible in John 10:10 it says the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But now the second part of that says, Jesus says, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And, but anyhow, on John 10:10 where it says the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And the other thing is, God also tells us that it may look a little bad, but the Bible tells us that when the enemy comes in like a flood, God will raise up a standard. So just do what you know to do, and do all you can do. Boy, you can do it. I'll be 89 here pretty quick. My daughter tried to talk me into coming out. I'm not coming here today because I got a couple of broken ribs. I fell. And I wouldn't have missed this, but I had to crawl through a quarter mile of broken glass. There you go. Thank you. Stay true to the colors.
Thank you.
Let's hear it. Woo! 89 years old. From Korea, sir.
Yes, sir.
Walking around right now with 3 broken ribs. Daughter told him he can't come here, but he came here. He said he walked through broken glass to get here. That's an American. That's representative of a real man, not a guy with bone spurs.
Yes, sir.
A real man.
Yeah.
A real man. Here's a woman who's got something to say. Everyone give it up.
I just want to say I am not a veteran. I know many veterans. I have a great friend from high school that is a veteran, and I have a great friend who fought in Vietnam, and I know many of you suffer every day with what you went through to let me have the kind of life I've had in my country. And all I can say is to every veteran out there, I live on Social Security. I would be willing to give up my Social Security to take care of you vets. You deserve the best of everything from our country.
Thank you. Anybody else, step right on up. Another gentleman from Vietnam.
All right. I gotta tell you something. I am pissed off. Okay? When I was in Vietnam, little Donnie Bonespur was dodging the draft. I got captured by the VC, beaten into the ground and tortured. I finally was able to escape by killing one of my captors that was over me, and I came back to my family to see my new son and new daughter. And I don't believe in this. I don't. Can I say bad words?
Yeah.
Rotten motherfucker.
Bam, bam.
That wasn't bad. That was good. That was good. He's got the right to say that. Not bone spurs. Next, this gentleman has something to say. There you go.
Hi, my name's John. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. In this administration, there's one person that's supposed to defend us, all veterans. His name is J.D. Vance. I've never been ashamed of calling somebody a fellow Marine. He turned his back on us. I think from now on, we should turn our backs from him.
I got you. I'll put it on Instagram when I go on Instagram.
I'm hard to find. I don't do much.
Hey, more than anything,
No,
sure.
you're on.
Here we go. Here comes our man from Canada. Let's hear it for him. He's all the way down here.
Really? You'll find me on Instagram.
Yeah.
On Blue Sky?
I spent
Not yet. I have the
26 years in
get
the
on
U.S.
Blue
Air
Sky.
Force from 1968 to 1994.
Yeah, we all find everyone.
And just like every one of
We find
you,
everybody no matter what.
I took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Every single one of them. Every elected official, local, state, federal level, whether they were Democrat, Republican, or independent, took that same goddamn oath. We have a right to that because that Constitution describes our supreme law, and also describes our form of government and democracy. Everybody, I encourage you, if you haven't read it recently, read the entire Constitution from Article 1 to the last amendment, 27 amendments. Read it. It only takes a couple hours for me to read it, and I'm a slow reader. So, read it. But these assholes on Facebook and TikTok and every other social media have never read it. And that's why they will never uphold and defend the Constitution. But Trump has just asked the Supreme Court to waive birthright citizenship.
Again!
Now,
He did it again!
I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen after 20 years in the Air Force, 19 and a half officially. But if the Supreme Court upholds his challenge to birthright citizenship, the Supreme Court will be waiving the entire U.S. Constitution, and we will never get it back. Our job is to make sure that becomes the most important issue in politics from now on.
And meanwhile, he's selling citizenship for $5 million.
Right.
Remember, support and defend the Constitution and against domestic and foreign
Enemy.
I forgot the whole
Enemies.
thing. I'm old too. I'm going to be 61 in October. Might retire in 45 days. Thank God for that. 29 years as a Chicago fireman, but that ain't safe. But I'm doing what I can. Oh, who wants to talk about Elon? We have a woman who'd like
I
to
can talk about
your
Elon.
daughter. Bring your daughter up too. Let her have something to say.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. My husband is an Iraq War veteran. He's currently in Chicago recovering from a bilateral lung transplant at 45 years old due to service-connected injuries. My husband has been threatened with a loss of multiple forms of care just recently on.
Mm.
It is imperative that people speak up and get loud to their elected. We must make it terribly uncomfortable for them to betray veterans and therefore pose a huge national security risk to this nation by weakening veteran affairs. Thank you.
Hold on.
Why don't you say what it says on your sign?
Sorry.
What does it say on your sign? Go ahead, say it real loud. Nice and loud. Go ahead. Nice and loud. What does it say?
Arbitrated vets will die with Republican-led cuts to the VA.
All right. My friend. I'm sorry. We're trying to get I'm trying not to be so loud, but a lot of people are relatively loud. I got this up as high as I can. Oh, you want to do it again?
I just got one
No,
more.
no, go ahead. I mean, you were talking earlier. That's what started the show, so you might as well. Yeah. Oh, let.
No, you go first.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead, say something. If you got something to say it. Hold it up close to your nice and loud. Yeah, just
Him.
pull the trigger first.
Thank you everybody for your support, for supporting our veterans. When I served, I was a resident of the U.S. My family, immigrants. Woo! My family has given over 50 years of military service in the Marines, Army, and Navy. And we as veterans from other countries, we also serve. We have given over 50 years of service in the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. I come from a family of 10. I was born in Mexico, and I felt that I should pay the country by serving in the Marines. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you don't know, there have been over 2,000 vets deported to other countries. If you get the chance, the rapper Drake, he did a documentary of 3 veterans. 2 of them have already come back to the U.S. One of them was killed by the cartel. The only way they can come back is in a coffin.
Thank you. Anybody else? I know you want to talk. Anybody else?
I like talking. I'm a toastmaster.
I see you got the rank. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, I just wanted to say one thing about our allies, the Ukrainians. Watch this negotiation. He's going to try and give away all. I mean, Putin did not go into the country to settle for a fingernail. He wants the whole damn thing. And he is not going to give it. You know, we've cut off intelligence, we've cut off weapons, so we can make them as placated as they can. And he's going to try and come in there and take the whole damn thing. And only our voices are going to stop him.
I'm hoping everybody can hear us back there. I'm sorry that some of us are doing okay and some of us are, but just remember, everybody, the reason why you're here, we're here for veterans too. But we can talk about you. I want everybody to talk about whatever they want to talk about. But remember, we're here for the veterans too. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about what they said. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
You got it, brother. All right, in 1968, I was a member of the United States Army, and I walked into the Pentagon with a top secret clearance, and the first thing, my first order was that we were there to defeat the Soviet Union. They were supplying the North Vietnamese with weapons to kill our soldiers, and that order still stands today. We are here to defeat the Soviet Union/Russia, and that's on the front lines in Ukraine. Thank you.
Oh. Oh no.
I'm a nurse. I'm married to a veteran, and I want everybody to remember: if we send them, we've got to mend them. That's right. The VA should be getting more money right now to fix the system that's already broken. Our veterans have a hard enough time going in there and getting the help that they already need, that is already not getting them into the doctors, into the specialists. So cutting 80,000 people out is not going to get our boys and ladies the things that they need. It's an absolute travesty. And for all of the people who have for all of the times posted, but the veterans! But the veterans! But the veterans! I ask you now, where are you? Because but the veterans are not getting what they need. But the veterans have been suffering in silence with their families, wondering when will someone care? And there are so many people that do care, and there are not enough resources. So ask your friends, but the veterans, if not when, if not today, when is it going to change? And it will not change with less people. It will not change with less veterans having a job, having access to health care from their jobs, because they are not going to get it with a system that has less people to go through the paperwork that it takes, the years that it takes to get disability, to get your file from the government that already has it. We can't do it with less people. So ask your friends, where are you? Because the veterans need you today.
Right.
She's very, very right. Not enough people are out there saying something about the veterans. Not enough people are saying things about education. They're not saying anything about the Department of Administration, the one that's doing all the firing for Elon Musk, our buddy. Oh yeah. Oh, here's somebody else.
I'm not a veteran. I'm a civilian. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm not a veteran. I'm just a civilian. My brother served.
But for the few who did show up, thank you so much. I'm going to edit this baby down, actually make a real video out of it. It's going to be great. And I hope that you can see the rest on some other video. But for now, I got to get back to work. I'm going to be late. They're going to be so mad. Thank you guys. Goodbye. P Delta out. You are loved. You're appreciated. You're going to do amazing things. All that. See ya.